Once upon a time, below one tree in a cold snow mountain lived an ice cube called Mr. Ice Cube. He had a nice mustache and shining ice cube, but he was very lonely. So one day he decided to go visit his friend called Mr. Waterpaper, who lived in a cloud high above him. So he walked to the face-changing station. On the way to the station, he saw his another friend, Miss Dry Ice. She was also going to Gasland, where Mr. Waterpaper lived, to meet her friend. So they walked together to the station. When they got to the in front of the station, he noticed that she had a ticket for sublimation line and he had a melting line ticket. Because Miss Dry Ice was the solid form of carbon dioxide, which was gas form and had no liquid form. So she did not have to go to liquid land and she could become a gas much faster than him. He was a little disappointed, but she was already gone and it was almost time for melting line. Inside the train was warm and he felt his molecules were slowly stretching their arms and legs, and the intermolecular distance, the distance between each molecules, were getting bigger. His shining body started to become a shining clear water. Now his body was not in one place together. When the train arrived at Liquid Land, he was no longer an ice cube, but he still had his nice mustache. Now he is water, the liquid form of ice cube, and from Liquid Land, he had to ride on vaporization line to Gasland. Inside the vaporization line were even warmer than melting line, and he felt his molecules stretching their arms and legs as much as they could, and getting more and more energy. A few minutes later, he was floating in the air and he was able to move freely. And that meant he finally became a water vapor, the gas form of water, and he arrived at Gasland. He got off the train and saw Mr. Waterpaper in front of the exit. Mr. Waterpaper invited him to his house. They spent a lot of fun time together until night, so Mr. Waterpaper asked him to stay in Gasland a few more days. But now Mr. Ice Cube missed Solid Land. He also wanted to spend more time with his friends, but he decided to go back. He said goodbye to Mr. Waterpaper in front of the station. Now he had to ride on condensation line to go to Liquid Land. He saw Miss Dry Ice going to deposition line, but he didn't talk to her this time. He wished he could also ride on the deposition line so he could go back to Solid Land much faster. Inside condensation line were very cold, and he felt his molecules getting closer to each other and having less energy. He could not float freely like in the air like before, but he still could move freely on the floor. He became a shining clear water when the train arrived at Liquid Land. From Liquid Land, he needed to ride on freezing line to his home, Solid Land. He fitted himself into a cubic container in train, so he could become a perfect ice cube. Freezing line were freezing cold, and he felt his molecules getting more and more closer to each other till each of them could only move a little. Soon he had a shiny, perfect ice cube body and a nice mustache, and he fell off the container as the train arrived at Solid Land. He finally arrived at his home, Solid Land. He was a little sad that he can't move freely in the air like before, but he was very happy to come back home.